Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Quisitive Unite. This session, we're going to be covering maximizing the value of your Business Central upgrade. Just a few reminders here before we get into the session. This event is for you. Get all of your questions into your chat panel. Recordings, the sessions are being recorded and will be sent to you next week. Please keep an eye on your inbox for that. And the best part here is prizes. We are giving away some great prizes and announcing winners at the end of the day. So introductions here. My name is Dave Penny. I'm a senior consultant here at Quisitive. I've been employed here for over 9 years, but I've been in the ERP space well over 20 years. In this session here, we're going to be covering updates versus upgrades, types of updates, update release notes, notifications, scheduling of updates, key considerations on update approach, best practices when updating, preview mode, and new features. So let's start off by update versus upgrade. We've all heard the terms update versus upgrade. What's the difference? Microsoft does not maintain multiple versions of Business Central. All customers are on the same version. The term upgrade was used for older systems where customers would generally skip one or more versions given the level of effort required to move to a new version. Microsoft refers to changes to Business Central as updates now. Reason being is there is only one platform and that is just being updated with new functionality. There's a lot less involved in doing an update versus an old style type of upgrade. Types of updates that you can expect from Microsoft. So Business Central updates are rolled out according to the roadmap that Microsoft publishes in their release waves, which consist of major updates and minor updates. The major updates, there's 2 of them. They happen, they're released in usually around April and October of each year, and are referred to as Wave 1 and Wave 2. So we just went through the April release. It would be referred to as the Wave 1 2024 release. Minor updates are released monthly or more frequently. They could be a couple of weeks apart. They could go a month and a half apart, but they are released. They're the releases that are in between the Wave 1 and the Wave 2. Most capabilities are made available in the major updates, but some of these new functionalities will become available in the minor updates. So you'll see that there's, as we go through this, there will be a list of new features that are going to be released in the Wave 1, but some of those may not be available today, but they will be released between now and the start of October, where Wave 2 will come out. Critical fixes roll out in minor updates as soon as possible after they pass the tests and have been verified by Microsoft staging environment. So for release notes, Microsoft publishes planned changes for both Wave 1 and Wave 2 updates. These are available online with the Microsoft website. These changes can be rolled out at any time during the Wave period, and rollout dates are estimates only and may change. For those of you who have gone through the April update, those mostly just got pushed out over the last 2 weeks, so early part of May. So again, there was delays in when these can come out. These are all estimates. If you go to the Microsoft website, you will see that basically there's the new and planned for Dynamics Business Central. The link is on the PowerPoint slide, and basically it'll break out. You've got different sections here that will update, show you what's being changed in this release. The bigger one here would be the application, and that's going to show you a lot of the new functionality or features within Business Central. You can click on each one of these. It'll take you to another page. It'll give you a brief description of what it is. It may or may not have a lot of information, but it will show you what that feature is going to be doing. As well, you'll also see over here in these tables, you'll see a public preview and a general availability. So this is showing you when Microsoft expects to release it for preview, and then when it's going to be pushed out completely and turned on in your system. Again, these are all estimates and are subject to change. Okay. And the link is right here at the bottom. Okay. So when an update's about to come out, Microsoft is going to send out notifications. Okay. They're going to send out an update when an update is available. They'll notify you when an update has been scheduled. They'll let you know when it's been paused. Also, it'll send you a final update when the update has been done, whether it was successful or not. Okay. Your Business Central administrator should be receiving these notifications. If they are not, please let your Quisitive account manager know so that we can add that person to the notification list. Okay, so that way you'll be informed. We get a copy of those, but someone internally within your organization should also be receiving those so that you are fully aware of what's coming through. As an example of one of these emails, you'll get an email from Microsoft Dynamics 365, and it'll tell you basically, this one here is the environment's been scheduled for an update. It'll tell you the old version that you're on. It'll tell you the version you're going to. When is it being scheduled? The time it's being scheduled, and as well the last date that you can push it out. Okay, so you'll get these emails through the notifications. So scheduling of updates. So when Microsoft sends out an update notification, in many cases, they'll set the date of the update for you. Now, we can go in and we can change that date if you're not ready or if you prefer a different date. Ideally, when these updates first come out, I try to tell clients, if at all possible, don't be the first one to jump on the update unless there's something there that's critical. I usually let it go for a week or two, because if there's any problems, it's going to come out early. They'll pause the update, they'll fix the problem, they'll put out an update fix for it. Doesn't always happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry. The update time is usually set from midnight to 6 a.m. That's what we would normally set. We don't want to set something during the business hours because we don't want to interrupt business operations, because when an update is being performed, your system will be shut down and the update will be applied. Microsoft requires a 6-hour window to schedule and perform the update. Now, that's a block of time that they will schedule it, but it may only take an hour to do that. But during that block of time, you may not be scheduled until 2 hours within that windowed time. So because they have a lot of updates to do, they have a lot of scheduling to do, they require a minimum 6 hours. In special circumstances, you can request Microsoft to push up the update out past the 60 days. So when you're told that you have an update, you have currently, and this has changed, over the last year or two, they constantly change their policy and they continue to review it. But the current policy is that you have 60 days to get the update completed. If at the end of the 60 days you have not completed the update, Microsoft will push that update out to you automatically. If there's a problem with any extensions that are preventing the update, those extensions would be disabled and the update pushed out. Now, you can request to Microsoft to have this pushed out past the 60 days. Microsoft must approve that. Why would you want to push it out sometimes? We have some extremely large clients who have got many customizations, many third-party extensions, and it takes a long time to test all of the changes coming through. And they might even decide that they want to skip a particular update. Microsoft will let you skip one major update. I think that's about it. So you could do wave 1 now, skip wave 2. You are going to be forced to do wave 1 next year. During that time, you will not get any minor updates either if you go that route. But again, this must be submitted to Microsoft and approved by Microsoft. Okay. There is a website that Microsoft has that talks about all of the updates and minor updates. So there's timelines for the minor updates, how they get rolled out. There's also the major updates, what happens when there's updates failed, what happens on postponing updates. So you can go to this website and you can read up on it, and it's very informative. Okay. So Key considerations on an update approach. So people are always asking, all right, updates coming out, what should we be doing? What are the things that we need to take into account? So a couple questions here that you need to ask yourself. How complex is your business? Do you have a lot of workflows? Are you using advanced warehousing? Do you have manufacturing? Do you have many users? And so on and so forth. Do you have a lot of customizations? So, and those could be, some of those could be very minor in nature. Some of those could be a lot of code change and so on. Do you have a lot of third-party extensions? As you know, Business Central is built such that you can go to the marketplace, you can find extensions, and you can install the extensions. So if you've got a lot of those in play, you got to consider that. Integrations, do you have any APIs, data connectors, flat files, anything else that's one-way, two-way communications between Business Central and an external system? So the more you answer yes to, the more proactive you're going to want to be in managing your updates. So there's a lot of options here that we do have when an update is coming up. And again, if you answered no to all those questions, you're in the low risk category. If you've answered yes to everything there, then you have to be a little more proactive. So if you've got a simple environment, you'll want to be doing the following. Read up on the new features being rolled out. So again, the website that I pointed out to you, you can go to that website, you can see what new features are coming out. Another practice would be to update a sandbox to the new version and then have the users go in and play around, test the new features out and check things, make sure that everything's working fine. There's also could be some features that are optional that you may want to activate and so on. But we can schedule the update to the sandbox prior to the update to the production environment. So it's a good chance to see and test what's going on. If you have a complex environment, then in addition to the above, you may also want to do the following. You may want to create a preview sandbox. So the preview sandbox is available 30 days prior to the actual release being available. And it only contains the Cronus company, and you can put your extensions in there and you can test all of your extensions and customizations, but it's not against your real data, but it will test the functionality. So that's one option, is to create a preview sandbox. After the 30 days is up and Microsoft has come out and said, okay, the update is now available, the clock starts ticking. You can create a new sandbox that will contain your real data with all the extension and integrations where possible. Update that sandbox to the release version and test all extension and APIs. Test all your business processes. Test everything. Okay. I mean, in the last update, one of the things that we've noticed is that some of the check forms and a few other documents there's been some field changes, and so those stopped working, and we've had to do some minor fixes to those. So again, even though the update goes through, something might break. So again, test everything out. If it's an extremely complex environment, you may want to consider skipping a major update and its related minor updates. So as I previously mentioned, you can skip one major update only. That's as far as Microsoft will let you go, but again, that must be approved. Okay. So the preview environment. So like I said, about 1 month before a major update, you can try out a new functionality in preview environments. Preview environments are Business Central online sandbox environments that you create on a preview version of the application. When you create the new sandbox environment, choose the preview version marked as preview from the version list. This way you get a new sandbox environment with a preview version of that application. Note, this preview is applied to the Microsoft Cronus demo company only. It is not possible to apply this to your company. So one of the last things here is new features. So within Business Central, you can actually go, there's an option here called Feature Management to see what new functionality is available to try out. So as I showed you in the documentation earlier, things might be rolled out in a preview mode or would be available for general. So if it's in a preview, it means that the functionality is now pushed out to Business Central, but it may not be active. So you can click on the Learn More to read about the Microsoft documentation on the new feature. And then some features, once they're enabled, cannot be disabled. Okay. So if we were to go over to Business Central and just take a quick look here. So we come over to Business Central. If you search feature management, you'll find a page here called feature management. So this is we're now on we're on version 24. So this is after the April release. So these are the features that are sitting here that have not been enabled. So it'll tell you what the feature is. You can click on the Learn More. It's going to take you to a website. Basically, so that was at the yeah. So it'll take you to a website here at the Microsoft site where you can see what that feature is about. It'll tell you some information here about when it's going to be automatically enabled. So basically, this first feature here to replace the existing EU three-party trade purchase functionality is going to get pushed out on Wave 1 in 2025. So right now it's in a preview mode, but it will be pushed out and made active. So you can see what the version number is going to be. If you want to enable it, you can just come in and you can say enable for all users and turn it on. And again, it'll tell you, once it's there, then it's installed. Sometimes you also have an option here to get started where you can try it out as well, so you can test it. And if you don't like it, then you can turn it off. But others, sometimes when you turn them on, it'll give you a warning message and tell you that once it's enabled, you can't disable it. So the trick here is come into your sandbox. So spin up a sandbox, come into your sandbox, and turn on the new functionality here and test it out in the sandbox. If you don't like it, no harm done. If you do like it, then you can look at it with your production environment, and then you can work with your team and and your Business Central partner and plan on when you want to turn that on so there's no interruptions to your business. Okay, so that's the presentation. I hope you've enjoyed today's session on that. If you have any questions, you can just, according to the slide here, you can give us a call, you can ask Quisitive, and if not, go to the website. And thank you very much.